everybody, welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you're having a fantastic day today, and today we're going to be taking a look at this hand-painted 1:400 scale custom diorama base here by Brad Myers. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for today's video, and without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started. So, Brad Myers I've been seeing with these custom diorama bases at these collectible shows for several months now, and at Airliners International in Kansas City this year in 2024, when I saw his assortment of boards, I was like, I can't keep waiting. I really like the look of them, and overall I think they're super cool. So I chose to buy one at Kansas City, and ironically enough, it's only one left in the Kansas City International Airport. So today I'm going to give you the full rundown of what these are like. If you're interested in buying one, I can also send you there as well, and all the additional details that you need to know about these hand-painted just scale model diorama bases. He does them in 1:200, 1:400, and 1:500, and overall it's just so cool to see these, and they're extremely detailed, from the runway itself to the numbers to the actual lines being like actually having a crease on them, and just the paint of the grass. It's super cool, and we're going to take a look at it today. So I really hope all of you are excited for it. Let's go ahead and get started. So first and foremost, if you're interested in one of these, I'll just go ahead and get this out of the way so we can go straight to the details so you can see it. It's custom diorama bases here by Brad Myers, and you can email him at rockwood@jeffnet.com if you're interested. He has that email, so any runway or whatever you're looking for, he can do that for you. So I have that one, and then here's also the one they had Airlines International for a couple more examples. There's like runway 22, I think that might be I'm not sure if that's LaGuardia where that is. And here's a couple pallets here. There's two pieces. I think they're 11 by 11s, but you can see here this runway turnaround, and also what the gate stands looks like too. He has those as well, and a variety of other really cool pieces. So yeah, they're absolutely great. Here's a nice variety here so you can see kind of what he does and just how great they can turn out. So yeah, it was a really tough decision on which one to buy, but the reason that I got Kansas City was because obviously we were there. That was one reason, but the main reason was because the gray contrast. So obviously I have a bunch of Eurowide aircraft. So let me go ahead and get my United back, and you can see how well that the gray contrasts the models. So I chose to get this for the model reviews and overall just to have one, because again, they're really cool, and by the time I figured out this was Kansas City and the contrast of the gray, like I said, it was too good of a deal. So in this video, we're really going to dive into the details of how cool these are and just the immense detail that go into them. So that's what we're going to do with this palette. So again, got this for $65, which obviously seems like quite a bit for a piece like this, but I think once we dive into it, I think you'll understand why it was that price, and we're also just really just dive into the amount of precision that goes into these and just how nice they are. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one left Kansas City. So again, it's 11 by 11, which is a really good size. So here's my hand relative to it, so you can see it's definitely a substantial size. It's also made out of this really good wood. So here's the front, obviously, where we'll be taking a look at most of our time, but I also want to show you the back real quick because he actually labels them up. This one doesn't have any description, but typically he writes up a bio, which is really cool. So that's nice. But you can see MCI one left, and then here's the exact cutout from Google Maps. So let's go ahead and take a look at the details and really all that you need to know from this, because they are really nice. So first and foremost, we'll just start with the runway and expand, because this is obviously the focal point. Again, he does make aprons and whatnot too, so you can definitely check those out as well. But here's the runway. So here it is. So as you can see right here, just immense detail from the beginning. So I'm gonna have to zoom in, or hopefully not in macro mode, because macro mode is not particularly ideal for this. I'm gonna zoom in so you can really get a feel as to how detailed this gets. So we'll start with the piano tiles. So there's 5 of them on this particular example, and you can see that they're actually physical pieces. They're not just painted on there. They're actual physical pieces, which is really cool. So hopefully that view gives you a good sense as to what I'm talking about. Also take my finger against it so you can see they're actual physical pieces, which is just immense detail, and it's so realistic. Like, it actually feels like it's on the runway, which is really cool. So you can see how realistic that is. You also have a couple of scuff marks here representing a plane taxiing on it. So amazing detail there, and he's done a really good job mastering that. You can actually see super glue residue here, which is very great, and I could barely even notice till that. So great to see how easy, or what's the word I'm looking for, how precise he's got on the super glue to get this on there exactly right. But you can see the markings on here, and they're exactly realistic, which is really great. The one that I really like is over here on the other set of piano tiles, where you can see it coming off of the tires of this taxiway, which we'll take a look at here in a moment. It's beautiful, and you could really just put a 737 on it and say that's realistic. So let me see if I can kind of match it up. You can see like how correct the placement would be. So that's really great, and overall I think he did a really good job putting that together. So that's really nice. You can see those marks, and again, you have the piano tiles, which are physical pieces. They look really great. The rest of it, pretty much any line on here, any number, an equivalent is actual mark or actual physical piece. This piece of the runway right here, the end of it, is a really nice piece. You can see that, and then you can also see the blast pad, which is turned into a physical piece too, along with the lights here, which are not a physical piece, but they're drawn on there very nicely, so that's really great. It's also worth noting here on the blast pad how detailed the lines are on there. So you can see the grooves and other indentations there that just make for a really nice piece. I mean, it just looks so nice and realistic relative to the design. So that's awesome. And overall, I think he did a really good job putting that together, along with all of his other boards, which again, I'll be sure to show you some samples when I get a chance. Okay, so you can see how detailed it really gets once we get into the runway. So first off, this is nice and smooth. I don't know if it's sand or what exactly it is. We can just see how smooth it is on the camera, which is really nice. But he has the actual markings done on here, which is so cool. So you can really see kind of that design. It's kind of the wood kind of off of it too, but it adds that realism that I think is really cool. So you can definitely see those markings right there. And then you can see one left, which is obviously the runway that we're looking at here, and how precise the markings are on that and how good of a piece he did there. So obviously pretty challenging considering how precise this is and whatnot, but I think he did a really good job putting it on there, and overall it looks really nice. And you can also see the first line here in the middle, which is great. And then that takes us to the outside here, which he did a great job literally color contrasting here. So we obviously go from gray to white to tan to green. So it's great to see how great of a job he did there. And then the flat tan around also looks really great. So that's wonderful. Since we're here, we'll already go ahead and take a look at the grass. You can see how realistic that is. You got a little bit of orange and tan in there. Obviously this isn't like, you know, you could put diorama grass if you wanted to on here, which I might do that, I'll see. But I really like the green that he used here. And overall, I think it looks really realistic. So I might just keep it as it is, because it looks really nice. So that's really cool, but you definitely could put diorama grass there to give even more realism if you really wanted to. And then you can see the tan color here in the lights and all that. It's just so realistic and it looks so nice. So you get small airport signs to go with it. Possibly one of the best details of this particular board and others that have runways on them is the taxiways. So you can see how much details put into this particularly. So the line again is a physical piece, which is really nice and detailed. So great job by him for getting that. But you also have to note how great the actual creases are in here for the tiles, which is really great. They're on the concrete, so you can see actual crack pieces in there, which I think is probably on the satellite. You can see those exact details he replicated onto the actual board itself, which is just incredible how detailed he got with this and why it's worth as much money as what I paid for it. So you can see the exact details that are on the actual replica, or on the actual airport rather, on there, and the tiles in their correct placement. So all that's really great, and overall I think just really great detail by him, and the amount of precision and effort that went into making this what it is incredible. So overall just a really great job by him. But you can see the lines cut off there, and then the yellow go there on the back along with the green once again, which is really nice. It's definitely different, probably not what I would have expected for boards like this, but I think it's really nice, and I think it contrasts out the runway really well. So again, taking some other looks at it, here's the green on this side, which is really nice. Very nice and precise with the straightness. You can see how straight it is and no creases really. I mean, there might be a small like millimeter error somewhere in here, I'm sure, but obviously that's irrelevant because I can't really tell. So let's just put it back flat so you can really see what it looks like again. And I'll bring out a model so you can see, or some models, to see how it looks with airplanes on it. So the first one that I started with, of course, is the United 737 MAX 10 here that I have. And you can just see how great it looks on the runway here in some various angles. So kind of just scooting it along the board, you can see what a plane looks like on it. So overall, it's really nice to get on the taxiway line too. So it definitely looks really cool. And I think that it will be great for my model reviews to add some character to them. So that's this right here. It looks really nice. So really great on that one. I'll also bring in 2 wide body airplanes for some perspective. Here's a Hawaiian Airlines 787, so you can see how the wings overhang off the runway, which is realistic to real life, by the way, and just overall how it looks. So I'll kind of just turn the board so you can kind of get some views of it here, get a better perspective of it and how nice it looks. I also like how nice it looks from all perspectives. There's not really one dead spot. There was a couple that he had that the runway was a little bit farther up to accommodate for taxiways coming on here, which I thought about getting one of them actually because the asphalt was a dark color. It was New York Gordia's 2-2, But I ultimately decided on this one because there was a bunch of runway space right here, and obviously Kansas City being at the show, it was just too good of an opportunity. And here's a Virgin Lance A350-1000 to really gauge some more perspective on it too. As you can tell, that looks really nice, and kind of do a little roundabout there so you can see what it looks like. And I think he did a really great job on this board. This is really nice. So overall, these are really cool. Again, it's custom Diorama Bases, and if you want to contact him, there's his email, which is what he does for sales. So feel free to contact him on there if you're interested in a board. But they are really cool, and I can't recommend them enough. I think that they look really nice, and I'm excited to use these in model reviews, maybe even unboxings down the road. I don't know exactly how I want to format it yet, but it's a great asset to have for sure, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go considering how nice it is and overall how it looks. So I really hope all of you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Expect more airport accessory videos like this. I got videos coming up on jet set, ground service equipment, among other fun airport accessories, so stay on the lookout for those. But nevertheless, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and one of you for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. This process. Do you love you do? My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.